ready, the drivers are ready. We hope you're ready as qualifying is about to begin here in Bahrain.
Why does Danny Rick look so upset? It doesn't look like him at all. Anyway, let's go into episode 2 of F1 2018 career mode. So, qualifying here in Bahrain, of course, in the night. So we're getting to the second race of the season. We've already got a slightly different race. It's not just the standard daytime race. We're already going into a little bit of the unknown. Will the car react differently in these conditions? So, here is our fastest lap from qualifying. I did go for a third lap, but unfortunately it wasn't any quicker. Made a slight mistake on my third lap. This lap wasn't perfect in itself. Obviously you can see slightly missing turn 1, slightly. And then the run up through here wasn't so smooth, but I'm still getting into the rhythm of getting back into racing games. It's been a long time since I've properly played one for more than maybe a couple of hours, just as a bit of fun. So it's taking a bit of time, but I'm getting there. I think this was the corner I messed up. Yeah, I sort of jumped over the curb on the inside and on the outside and all over the place. I don't know how this was my fastest lap of the race. That easily cost me about half a second there. And yeah, I was a bit annoyed that this was my fastest lap because I didn't really want to show this. But at the same time, it's my fastest lap, so I'm going to have to show it to you guys. But it was a very unclean lap, really, in a way. So I was surprised, really, that this was my fastest time. But nonetheless, back straight, DRS wide open. And as we head into the braking zone, not too much braking here, still around 150 kilometers an hour kept through that corner, and the build up through here. I'm running quite a low downforce setup, so running through here in the race is going to be tricky because the ungrippy tyres, once they've lost a bit of their grip, are going to be a bit all over the place through that segment. Now building up speed down to the final proper corner here at Bahrain. I think there is a slight kink after this last corner, but we'll call this the last corner. Last corner, over the curbs, not too bad whatsoever, and up to the start-finish line, which I feel like it wasn't a great lap. We definitely saw the first half of the lap was quite scruffy, but right then it put us P6, which we kept until the end of the session, which I don't understand one bit. We lost so much time in that first half of the lap, and to get this lap time I was surprised. And then somehow we start P4. People must have taken penalties or something, because that is crazy. So, starting P4, not the best of starts in the world. Can someone let me know how to get a good start? Because I just can't do it to save my life. Into turn 1, putting my nose down the inside of Raikkonen, he just turns in. He's like, "You're not coming through today." And well, that was just a bad impression and a bad manoeuvre there. I really shouldn't have bothered trying to go down the inside of Raikkonen there, but if anything I was trying to defend more from Magnussen and co behind us than really attacking Raikkonen, because if I didn't put my car there, it's quite likely that I'd have gone around the outside of me there and easily got an overtake in. So I needed to be quite sort of forceful on this first lap of this race here, not to do anything too easy for the AI to overtake, really. And Raikkonen really isn't that quick on his opening lap here, which kind of annoyed me. It's like, I'm trying to keep these guys behind me, Raikkonen, and you're just driving like 3 miles an hour. First lap of the race, and already make a slight mistake there off the track, which is a little bit annoying. And Magnussen goes through. Oh, and I think I'm getting a bit annoyed following Raikkonen like that, and I misjudged my braking point there, obviously hitting the curb, and that sort of sent us off there. So that's already quite scruffy. But what are you doing, Magnussen? That is not a place where you just stop. These Haas drivers, eh? And whoa, very sideways here. This first lap, it started alright, but now it's turned into a very scruffy first lap of this race now. And Verstappen has gone round the outside of me, and now I'm going to try and get back past him, but in reality I'm not going to be able to keep him behind for long. Into the last corner, and once again the AI just don't like to take any sort of speed through the corner. Daniel Ricciardo sets the fastest lap of this race. I think he's currently leading. He's either leading or second place. As you're going to turn 1, we're going to get back past Verstappen here with the superior straight line speed, but he comes back under the brakes and decides to just tag the side of my car as I really wanted him to do that. So building up through speed once again. We've lost a lot of time now to Kevin Magnussen in that Haas car, who got past in that first lap of the race after our mistake and has built a lead of like 3 or 4 seconds. Actually, let's see. Maybe it won't be quite that much. We'll see as we go through the split time. Okay, just over 2 seconds. I was slightly exaggerating there, but that's what it felt like. Down the main straight this time, we've got Lewis Hamilton, who once again starts behind us, and he flies past us like we're not even there. Now, I did obviously want to go and dive it down the inside here, but I knew at the same time, what is the point in fighting Lewis Hamilton, because there's no way we're going to beat him. Yes, we could sort of maybe battle with Verstappen, because the lap time in terms of qualifying wasn't that far away from him. But Hamilton, we know he's much faster, and even though he did qualify behind us, which sort of destroys my point, he qualified behind us, but that must have been through traffic or something. So lap number 3, DRS open, even though we're nowhere near Hamilton, so we're not going to get the slipstream. And Max Verstappen's going for this overtake, and I don't really defend it. I'm just going to try and brake a bit later on the outside. But this was the point of the race where I thought, wait a minute, I can race Verstappen in this race here. I'm not that much slower, and if I can stay within the DRS on and keep using that, I might be able to battle him in this. But then once he overtook Magnussen, I thought, okay, that ship has sailed it away. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get back past Magnussen and then back up to the back of Verstappen, but I was happy that I managed to catch Magnussen. I knew that the pace was there, and I was just a bit disappointed that I made the mistakes early on in this race, which sort of put me on the back foot. On the brakes, I seem to be much later really on the brakes than Magnussen and even Verstappen as well. And this was the part of the track which I seem to be closing in on the AI. You can see quite drastically through here. Even though I've got the low downforce set up on, I still managed to close in through one of the parts where you need the high downforce. So I'm not sure what's going on with the AI through there, but I was definitely gaining some time. So building up speed once again into the very hard left hand here, which is always a tough one. And we get it turned in, and now Magnussen, we're going to get some DRS, but I think he's going to get some DRS on Verstappen, still a bit unfortunate. So that's going to not allow us to go for the overtake. But this is our pit stop lap anyway, so I just want to stay quite close to Magnussen and maybe jump him in the pit stops. That's the aim. So through these fast, long right-handers, which I struggle with this low downforce, but it was working out for me for the majority of the lap here, this low downforce setup. I thought I'd try something a bit different. I stayed in the normal setup for the first race of the season, but I decided to go a little bit more low downforce for the second race with the extra straights here and the less technical parts, which obviously the Australia track has. Now, diving into the pit lane here, I have the auto pit lane on just because I like to throw it in and basically have a sip of water at this stage. So I threw it in, probably gained a little bit of time on the Haas car. And we pit the same lap as our teammate, which I don't think was entirely planned, but he shouldn't really got held up that much. So exit the pit lane, jumped. Yeah, wait, we jumped Verstappen as well. What? Wait, we jumped Verstappen and Magnussen in this. I don't even remember that happening. As we exit the pit lane, we're going to be just behind Raikkonen, who you can see just in front here, who's getting held up behind, I think, is it a Toro Rosso? I think he's getting held up by a Toro Rosso, which is quite funny. On to lap number 7, Verstappen is going to have the DRS. I'm in the rich fuel mixture here. I can't really do too much here. I try and go a bit defensive towards the middle of the track. It doesn't really work out. I try and go a bit later on the brakes on the outside. There was just enough of a car width, but I couldn't quite do it. But this was the part where I was like, okay, I've got a bit of a gap to Perez. I can afford to battle with Max Verstappen here. I can afford to have a bit of fun here. So what I decided to do, I mean, yeah, like I don't decide to be quick in the other ones, but I decided to really go for it. I decided to really go for it right now and try my best to get back past Max Verstappen, because sometimes I probably wouldn't bother trying to fight back because I know he's quicker, but down the inside here, a Max Verstappen-esque move on him, and I get the overtake done. Nice. On to the end of lap number 8. Unfortunately, the DRS is just so overpowered down this main straight here. I try and defend it, so he just drives around the outside of me, but then I go for another Verstappen move down the inside. You can see he locked up his brakes. He decides to turn in on me still. Bit rude, but nonetheless, we keep our position P5 for now. Daniel Ricciardo is suffering problems in front. That's why he's dropped down to P4, even though he was leading this race earlier on. And Lewis Hamilton somehow has gained loads of positions. I completely missed my braking point there, and Verstappen goes back through. But it actually means I get a really good run out of the corner. I should have maybe stuck to the left-hand side of the track here to get a good run through here, but slightly messed it up. But I'm close enough to go for another move down the inside. Another Verstappen-esque move down the inside, but this time it's a little bit too late on the brakes. He gets back past me, and there we go. Building up speed. Can we get down the inside here? This isn't really an overtaking place unless you're really, really ballsy, but I'm not going to get that one done. But I am going to have DRS, but sadly I don't get a great run out of this corner, so building up the speed. Once again, going to go look to the inside. We're going to get the overtake done, yes, on the brakes. Jam down the brakes, down the gears, and we're going to get back past Max Verstappen, which is fantastic. Now, as we head on to lap number 10 in a second here, you can see we're starting to get a bit of a queue behind us here. Some cars are starting to catch up to us. Verstappen is obviously right behind us there. And I think, is that Toro Rosso or is that a Mercedes? And oh my goodness, and we go back down the inside of Verstappen. Very late on the brakes. Oh my goodness, how did we do that? Let's have a look at a replay then. So, Verstappen goes to the inside, Perez goes to the outside, and I decide just to fly down the inside of both of them. Somehow get it stopped. The tail kicks out as I hit the curbs, but somehow we keep that position. And the VSC comes out on lap number 11 for, I think it was Ericsson retiring, and then Raikkonen retires as well. Like, oh my goodness, how much luck can we have in the early stage of the season with big names retiring? Because that's got us up to 4th place. And now with a couple of laps to go, we've got Sergio Perez is the one that's behind us. And we know the Force India is a quick car in a straight line. And with DRS as well, he just flies past. I try and keep my nose down the inside here. I don't know whether the AI turns in on me there or I braked a bit too late. But I kind of feel like I had the position and all over the curves. That wasn't great, but I kept the position until the end of the lap. Going on to lap number 13 now. And look how quick that Force India is with DRS. That is absolutely insane. And now I knew I wasn't going to be able to outbrake him here, so I was like, just get a good run through here. Missed the apex, which is a bit unfortunate. Build up the speed once again. I knew that I could probably do this. I knew I could probably get back past Sergio Perez here, but it was going to be tough. It was going to be very tough. On the brakes once again, looking at the inside of Sergio, but it's not quite worked out for me there. And we're staying in our position for now. So let's see what we can do then. Can we get past Sergio Perez? 1.5 laps to go. We've got rich fuel mix on board. And looking at the inside, this has come quite far back. We get the move done down the inside. Yes, they're a bit of a lunge, to be perfectly honest. But at the same time, I've got to do it. Anyway, I completely messed up my gearing here. I think I shifted into 8th way too early. And ooh, getting close here as Perez tries to go to the outside as I try to keep it in the middle of the track. And into turn 1, I'm going to be able to brake late enough. Oh, slight contact with Sergio Perez there. It is all kicking off here in the last lap of the race. So I go around the outside. Wow, this last lap has been pretty intense, but we managed to bring it home in P4. Whack it into rich fuel mix here. Absolutely incredible. That race was really exciting. We got very lucky with people getting penalties in the grid and obviously other cars dropping out in the race. But there we are. Vettel wins again. There I am again. Hello. There's Vettel lifting his trophy in the top step of the podium once again. Hamilton, a great comeback drive to finish P2, and Ricciardo, even with problems, finished P3. We somehow finished P4, which I'm really happy with. That's 12 points I probably would never have expected in this race. I would have maybe expected maybe 8th or 9th, but to get 4th was quite good, and we managed to keep Verstappen behind us, even though we were a bit robust maybe with our manoeuvres. But anyway, 12 fantastic points, which keeps us right at the top of the standings. We're somehow 3rd, guys. We're 3rd place in these standings, just behind Lewis Hamilton. 1 point ahead of Verstappen. Insane. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please remember to leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys around soon. Goodbye.